the theme from Meet Joe Black, Whisper of a Thrill. What a good track that is. And I'm going to take these SWAN headphones off. And we'll talk about them. Oh, look. A white LED ring to indicate it's charging them wirelessly from the stand that comes with the bundle. So I finally got in contact with SWAN, or they got in contact with me. I mean, I don't know how big you got to be, but apparently I got there. And I'm like, great, send me some speakers. And they're like, no, we're going to send you headphones. And I'm like, oh, okay. Let's see what you got. So, of course, it's active noise canceling. Of course, it's Bluetooth. But this is SWAN we're talking about. This is not like, and I'm talking about, this is like SWAN levels of SWAN. Maybe they can't put wood furniture on it, which they could, but they didn't. But Lord of Illusions level SWAN. So it comes in a bundle right now on Amazon, and it's retail $350, $200. And it's perfect if it stays at $200. This is an absolute fuck you, buy it for $200. You get the stand, which is absurdly too well packed. There's a link in the description for the unboxing video. You get, everything's crazy boxed. And then you get a SWAN carry case. Here's a USB cable to charge it, not USB-C. My big, like, I'm looking ahead. It's 2020. You're sending me a new product. It's 2020. You don't have a USB-C? So it's a USB micro there. This comes with USB micro, just plugs into the back of this. Very, very heavy duty cable, by the way. It looks really nice. And also a HiVi's charger there. Ring here when you plug it in when it's charging. It, and unlike a stand where it just clips on top, there is magnets under here and magnets there, and it is a wireless charging dock. Boop. It goes boop. And there you go. That's how you charge your headphone. Not a bad system. Bulky to like ship it, but not a bad system. Now, as you can see, I've currently got it plugged in with the wire it came with, which has to be because it's a 3.5 to 2.5, because the inside of that is 2.5. And we're running off the Rebel amp. And I'm enjoying the hell out of these closed back headphones. Just as closed back headphones. They're just closed back headphones if they're plugged into the thing. But there's other things they could do. Let's look at the build for a second, because I don't do the build thing. I used to do build first and then get into everything else. So they are fat. Like fat. Like, look at the size from here to here. And for some reason, this is like a popped out bit. I didn't know. I thought maybe this was like a control. This is a touch surface that you can do the ambient occlusion thing, which they claim is unique. But Sony's had that for a while. And comes with these pads. These are attached pads as far as I can tell. I don't know if you could yank these off. They're very, very in there, and they're very, I love this design because it looks like, oh, that's a small pad. But then you look at the side and it's like, holy Jesus. And then you reach in there and it's like, it goes out this way. Like, I could hide drug paraphernalia in this headphone. I'm not saying you should do that, but that's a good thing because even the hole is small, but the inside is massive. So your ears just settle down inside of it. Plastic. This, I think, is suffering a lot from the FIO. Remember the FIO headphones? No one fucking does. Because FIO's headphones were not very good. SWAN has got a better jump off the start than FIO did, but it still has this like air of not quite the best build quality for a headphone. They're getting into it. They're learning. This is metal. The slider's metal. This is so thick. Like the actual thing is sliding on is like 3/16 of an inch. So it's got basic plastic sliders. Up here is obviously where the magnets, it's probably just a metal plate in this, and the magnets are in just the stand. And then whatever wireless charging they have. We have folds flat that way. For when you're wearing them around your neck, you could put them down. And then you put them on your head here. We have a little bit of tilt this way, and a little bit of tilt this way. Plastic. It feels plastic. It doesn't feel like it's some space age new material. But it's built well enough. For the price point, if they stay at $200, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine, Marie. It's fine. Controls. Because it is keep in mind, this is a Bluetooth headphone. Now, I'm going to be powering it with a Rebel amp for a little bit, but then we're going to have to go back to it. And it is active noise canceling. So, automatically making something ANC means it should be in a price bracket higher than this currently is. I mean, there are cheap $80 active noise canceling headphones. And then they're expensive. Bose, Sony. What's a couple other ones I've done? But that's usually the first thing that I listen to, because I want to know how far off Bose are you. And while they're not quite Bose, you do get an app, which, hold on, I'm putting this on my head. Let's access the phone. So I don't know if you could see this. Let me raise the brightness up. Hi, how are you doing? Hey! Hey! How's everybody? Great. That's fantastic. So this is a noise canceling. You get 5 levels. Well, 4 levels. I don't count off as a level. So you could say it is, but it ain't. You get off, indoor, which is a slight amount of noise canceling, which is hard for me to pick up on right now. If I have the air conditioner running, it's much more blatant when you have a... But from what I've assessed so far, there's off, indoor, outdoor, commute, and flight. And I find that commute, the one that's just below the maximum, is the most comfortable for me. Because I feel like flight's doing too much. Like, I don't know if you've ever experienced noise canceling headphones where it's like, oh, these work really well. And then you start, like, hearing the blood in your fucking forehead ticking away. And it's like, oh, no. So I would personally leave it on commute and not take it all the way to maximum. So that's probably a good sign. There are some issues with the noise cancellation where it affects the sound, though. Again, this is SWAN's first headphone. There's going to be issues. We'll get back to it. Moving over, here's your ambient sound slider. If you hold your hand, hold on. If I'm holding my hand, why is this not working? Did you shut off? Did you go sleepy time? There you go. If I hold my hand over the left ear pad, just like it is on some other headphones, but they're obviously the ones that did it unique, you get the microphones to turn on and you can hear in stereo because it has these lovely mics there. Actually, like metal grilled mics that are showing, which is nice. And that is controllable through the app. As far as like, these are settings you set and never load this app again. At least as far as you should be doing. Pause. Hold on. Billy Joel's Greatest Hits was playing. So this lets me hear the room. And it's definitely, I could turn it up a lot if I wanted to, like, if you wanted to just sound like you're in the room, you put it right in the center. And if you wanted to sound like you've got super hearing, you put it higher. And that's like if you're at a checkout line and you've got music playing, you do that and they can speak to you within a half a second. It opens up. It's not quite as fast as on like the Sonys. But again, these are $200, not $400. So if I do that, and now I can hear. And it's okay quality. It sounds a little bit like an AM/FM radio. But for what it needs to do, where I just need to understand a communication while I'm holding my hand over the thing, it's fine. It looks silly because the thing is giant. It's giant. Why does it stick out? I still don't know. There's like vent holes in there. What are they doing? How big is the driver on these that they needed to like extend? They had to pop the hood on this. Okay. It has a feature, which I'm going to raise the volume. Hold on. Oh, is it going to do the backwards thing? It's fucking doing the backwards thing. It's not playing music right now. Now it's playing music. Okay. It does the automatic, like, take your headphones off. No music. Put your headphones on. Music. And you can disable that and enable that in the app, which is in here. The settings for this, the actual settings, there's really only 3. Flight noise cancellation, which allows you to put on active noise canceling without having the headphones on and running. Otherwise, the headphones will go to sleep. So if you want to just wear active noise canceling headphones and have them be noise canceling without music or sound, you have to set that setting so that it doesn't automatically shut them off like it did while I was dicking with it. Transparent mode, is the touch side. So you could either have that on or off. You could just disable it completely. And then Smart Play Pause, which is paused. How does it know when I let go? How does it know? Like it's either, I've had a couple issues with this where it either sends a play pause command, but sometimes it gets screwed up. Like when I just try to demo it. It doesn't happen very often, but it can happen. And I think that there's like, see that? I think that's an infrared blaster or something. And it's looking at the other side. I don't know how it knows if it's on my head or not, but it's not playing. You can put them on your neck and you can put them back on. And now it's playing. And it actually pauses Billy Joel, I believe. Yeah. Look how fast the play pause goes. That's probably the best implementation of that I've seen. It still says play. Oh yeah, because it paused. Jesus Christ. Ooh, Devil Rays is the unholy. We should probably talk for another minute about build and how it feels before I get into the actual nitty-gritty of sound quality and what happens when you put on the active noise canceling. So overall, they're comfortable. The pads are thick and soft, and there's plenty of room for your ear to wiggle around inside. It doesn't creak too much. It doesn't feel, it's a very linear clamp. They are heavy. If paying $200 for these, if there was a $400 model, I would expect it to be half the weight of this. This is a chunk. These are a chunk. And they don't fold in any sort of meaningful way that will allow you to like store them in a bag really well. So if you're taking these on a flight, you're basically going to be wearing them around your neck, which is honestly pretty comfortable. I've worn many a headphone and you usually can't like look down. And these, because I don't know why, if I shorten them, I think it's just the way that this is angled that I can get my neck right in there. And the bag is pretty large too. So again, SWAN's first headphone, give them a break. They also say quiet and dynamic on both sides, like that's a feature. So I mean, hooray. Let's look at the buttons, because they do the thing that I'm okay with, where they spread the button load out, because I hate when there's a headphone and everything's on one side and nothing on the other. So I guess we'll start on the right-hand side. Right-hand side is basic play, pause, volume controls. Center is play, pause, answer phone. It's a round button. Then the volume up, volume down, and hold for last track, hold for next track are pill-shaped and stick out further. So it's actually really easy to tell which one's which. I approve. I have had a couple headphones that have like knobs, and I like knobs better, or the joystick. But as far as buttons go, these aren't terrible. There's plenty of room here to do things with it also. The other side gets a little bit more complicated. We have the microphone for when you're making a call. You've got the USB, which is again a micro and not a USB-C. The 2.5mm input, which kind of bothers me. Like, they got a lot of room, but I guess they just couldn't fit a 3.5, so they have to give you this custom wire that, I mean, you could probably buy a 3.5 to 2.5 wire, because look at this thing. It's not exactly the greatest thing that SWAN's ever produced. I plug that in and pause. Meet Joe Black comes back on. We've got the power button, which is also the pair button, I believe. Yes. Yeah, you hit it, you double tap it and it goes into pairing mode, which is nice. You don't have to hold something for 6 seconds. And then you have the ANC button, which is either white or green. It's either on or off. There is no, the options are in the app to change the level, but that's it. Once you're out of the app, you're out of it. It's what you go on or off here. Now, well, the thing I noticed as far as sound quality go, active noise canceling will work while you're hooked up to this, and you could turn it off, and it doesn't really affect the sound too badly. The problem comes when you are playing this. So this is, they're still connected right now. Plugging this wire in doesn't disable the Bluetooth like it does on a lot of headphones. I just unplug it, and now the Devil Razor is playing. If I go back to the HiVi Connect app, wow, wop, wop. Shut off noise canceling. I can do that in here as well. Let's go back to commute, the one I like. I'm gonna wait for the bass tones to hit in Devil Raiser. 1 second. Oh. Yeah. Hello? So, the bass is the main concern I have with these headphones. With the active noise canceling on, it is stupendous. Like Devil Raiser's The Unholy. If you haven't heard that song, put it on loud. And with the active noise canceling, it sounds fantastic. With the active noise canceling off, it's anemic. It's not a little bit different. There are some headphones you have active noise canceling on, they sound muddy and compressed. When you shut it off, they sound just off. This is a very blatant, when it's on, you are in the butter zone for low end. Oh, I'm going to put it up, in fact. Hold on, I'm putting it up. Oh, it's loud as she'll go, and she adjusts the volume here, which means pretty big chunks. And it's loud. It's not murdering me loud. Like, this is about as loud as I'd want to play this headphone. And it sounds fucking stupendous. Now let's turn off noise canceling. Or turn on noise canceling. And the bass gets... It's 50-50 how you want to look at this. Either the bass gets too light in no active noise canceling, or the bass gets too heavy in noise canceling. And luckily for us, they have included a hell of a nice EQ to fuck with it. So let's go to monitor. This is what you get. I'll wipe this off on my sleeve like a professional. This is what you get. You get a line. That's it. Equalizer, line. Then you get some pre-made ones, pop, hi-fi, rock, and jazz. And I love how hi-fi even has a fucking setting, and they're using an old turntable. There's pop. They're using an old fucking cartridge turntable with the fan in it to say hi-fi. And apparently that's what hi-fi people like to listen to. And there's rockers, and there's jazz. Jazz don't want any bass. So here's my custom setting. You basically have to make a choice, because once you turn this on, there's no way to enable or disable this equalization curve on the headphones without the app. So you could do all this work. You could set all these settings up, and then you could shake your phone and throw it a fucking river, and that's what your headphones now are, permanently. But depending on what you're going to use more, you can EQ out and fix it. I'm not a huge fan of like, oh, we'll just fix it with EQ. I complained pretty much endlessly with those Anchor Soundcore IMs that you needed to do that. But the underlying sound quality of the SWANs is such that I'm like, fuck. Because here's what I can do. Here's what I can do. Look. When I do this, I use the Rebel amp and the EQ doesn't count anymore. Like, I could tell there is quality in these headphones. I'm about to call them IMs. Oh, there's like a warm disaster piece playing, by the way. Yeah, right there. Amber Rubarthus comes on, and it's like everything. Everything's great. These are solid headphones. These definitely sound better than those Fios. Holy fuck. Especially when you bypass the amplifiers that are in this. I would almost recommend these if you're staying at home. If you're a person watching this video, you're watching me right now, you watching me? If you just want active noise canceling headphones and to sit at your desk all day, I'm going to recommend these. Because, I mean, you don't need a Rebel amp, but these scream audiophilia. Hold on, let me put the air conditioner back on. I want to hear a thing. Plus, it's like 95% humidity. So I need to really hear a thing. Okay, active noise canceling is off because I hear that thing clear as day. Oh, will it not work? Did it shut off again? It's got to be doing a thing where it's just shutting off. Hold on. I probably have to set that setting. Let me set that setting here. We're connected. We're good. All right. I'm going to do flight noise cancellation. Yeah. Do all this up. All right. Devil Razor's playing there. And you can have Devil Razor playing. And then as soon as you... Now Amber Rubarth is playing. And the active noise cancelling is working. Okay, so as long as they don't shut off because you're not using them, we'll be good. Oh my fucking god. Alright, first of all, active noise cancelling requires them to re-amplify the signal. Right? I'm not crazy when I say that. That means they have to take what's coming out of the Rebel amp, put it through a process, unless they're twin amplifying it, because I think I'm just mega impressed by the way these sound. They're good enough that $200, okay, easy Swan, easy. You're gonna sell a bunch. They have a couple build issues, which I've already covered. Those squeaks are just gonna get worse, and you know it. And even though they're gigantic and slightly heavy, they are comfortable. If they weren't comfortable, I would fucking destroy them. And the active noise cancelling does function. No active noise cancelling. Active noise cancelling. Externally amplified. Internally amplified. Oh my god, Devil Razor. See, now that I've got my, like, and I don't want you to go and copy my EQ. This is my EQ when I put on noise cancelling to remove that bass boost and just trim a little bit of the highs out. This is, oh, you want to see how cool this is? Watch this. Press a dot, you got 4 dots. Only 4 dots. You press a dot, that comes up. Up here it shows you 38 hertz, negative 4.9 decibels with a Q value of 0.25. And you can slide this around anywhere you want, and then you grab the sides and you can adjust the Q value all the way to 8 and all the way out to 0.25. So like you can actually draw like pretty substantial tuning adjustments on this EQ. There's only 4 dots, but I mean, with this amount of tuning, you don't really need more than 4 dots. Because you can, look at this, you can just squeeze that down. I want exactly 800 hertz. I want to go down, you know, 12 decibels or up. You know, I really like these headphones. This aside, it's not even like a have to do it. You have to do the EQ tweak. I'd recommend it. Let me pause this. I'd recommend it if you're going to live with noise cancelling, you might want to tweak down some stuff. And if you're going to live without noise cancelling, you might want to tweak up some stuff. But I don't think I've liked a set of Bluetooth headphones for their sound in this sort of price. Like $200 is $200 is pretty fucking low. There's Tautronics. I got a ton of Tautronics over there I still have to do. I just did those costs today. Earlier in the day I did those costs and it was like, ugh. Like I couldn't hate them, but these are so much better. And they're only like $70 more. I can probably shut that air conditioner off. Oh, it feels so good, by the way. It's not an air conditioner. It's an active noise cancelling test device. Fuck, get your shit right. All right, I got 15 minutes before movie night starts. We're watching Sneakers with Robert Redford and Sidney Poitier and River Phoenix and Dan Aykroyd and Molly. I think her name is Molly, the woman. It's a great movie. It's a fucking great movie. And Darth Vader shows up. Don't ask questions. I forget what Whistler's name is. All right, back on my head, unmute, or unpause, I should say. Did you fall asleep again? Oh, because I put it in the... It shuts it off when you put it in the charging array. I'm going to call that a charging array now because it sounds cooler than charging base. Well, at least I could say this. It comes on real fast. And it connects real fast. Oh, I paused it. And it plays real fast. They definitely spent more time putting this together than FiiO did putting theirs together. And if there's one of these comes out the next year or two that's like $300, a little bit better materials, a little bit lighter weight, maybe carbon fiber, it'll be a fucking winner. And I can't get over the fact of how much I enjoy it, whether it's being put through Bluetooth or, you know, just $500 Class A amplifier. Did I do the sound demo for this already? I think I did the sound demo for this already. And what I should have done was Rebel amp it up, because be careful not to overgain it, though. You will get pops. Like, it's doing the thing where it's re-amplifying the amplifiers, which should mean that this isn't getting any better than the digital, but I'm using a better DAC and a better amp to power the generalization of it. And if you push it too hard, it'll go, it doesn't like it. So, shut the active noise canceling off. Yeah, and I could hear myself talking again. It's so weird. I'm still amazed by active noise canceling. DJ Shadow. Pillows. Yeah, no, I'm gonna give these an absolute recommendation. Not just because SWAN sent them to me and I want them to send me other things, so therefore I'll do that. But I think they're a great first attempt. FiiO stumbled right the fuck out the door. There was like, hey, headphones! And these, yeah, they're bigger than you'd expect. And maybe their control surfaces aren't as good, and they do the thing on the side, and the microphones aren't as fantastic, and the app is pretty basic. But they did the right thing because they're $200. Not $400, not $350, $200. I hope it stays there. And I would be very proud to wear these out in public. I mean, they're going to make you look like you got a ham sandwich stuck to your head. I still don't know. Thank God that they could fill this with RGB if they felt like it, and they didn't do it. So thank you, HiVi's SWAN, for sending these and not filling them with RGB. And again, comfort's number one with these sort of things, and they are comfortable. So I'm gonna leave them right there. They're gonna turn off. In fact, so they're off, but they'll still play. So they will play with an external source. You just have to have this stupid cabling. I will attempt to link in the description a 2.5mm to 3.5mm cable in case you decide to pick these up, because this one works. I don't want it. I don't want it. The jank is real. Okay. I really didn't describe sound, did I? I hate and I love doing reviews because I get so into it with like the details, the finer details. But I'm like, well, how do they sound, Zeos? They sound at least equal to other $200 headphones, just straight up headphones, especially when you externally power them. I'm trying to think of some, like, what's a good closeback? Look at my wall. Honestly, my wall is not filled with many closebacks. Most of my good closebacks are portables. The One More triples, the B&O-H6s. These kind of remind me of a slightly bassier yet less warm B&O-H6. They've got that same presence, that creamy presence. And those are about the same price as this, and not Bluetooth. So, I mean, maybe M&Os are the only other ones that would sort of be, because those are beryllium. Because it's put you in a wonderful acoustic space. And then it throws some low end at you. Either not enough or too much, but still there. And then you could always EQ with your way out of the rest of it. These are an enigma. I need a V2. I need a V2. V1 is absolutely a pass. V2 is going to be the winner. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't pick up V1. Look at that. Especially if you want something that's just that on your desk. That wallpaper in the description. All wallpapers ever in the description. Hi-Fi guides. And the forums are in the description as well. If you want to know about these headphones, if you want to know about the community and not just the YouTube comments, Hi-Fi Guides, which is a site that has recommendations, will probably have these. And the forums attached to it have everything I've ever reviewed ever. Should have a product specific post that you can go and read all about it. See other people's reviews, post your own. It's a wonderful place. The Patreon and Subscribe Star, which support this channel and pay my bills, are in the description. And you have 3 reasons to join those. 3. You got to give everyone 3 reasons. This is actual life advice beyond this. You give people 3 excuses. You give people 3 reasons. Oh, I can't come to the party because my mom's sick. I got a flat tire and I'm working the day before. 3 reasons, because you can break 1 or 2, but you can't break 3. 3 reasons to join my Patreon or Subscribe Star. See these reviews early, up to a week or more, in case there's a run. There might only be 4 of these on Amazon. Who the hell knows? And you know how SWAN is with their stock. If you see this and you actually want them, you're more likely to get something that I reviewed if you see it early. You could also leave comments that confuse people because they're like, how is there a week-old comment? So see these reviews early. Ask me any questions you want on platform. Start basic, please. If you're going to message me on platform, on Patreon or Subscribe Star, just give me a little brief thing. Don't give me the fucking... Jesus Christ. I've gotten books. Like I had to print them out and read them on the toilet. Ask any questions you'd like. Just keep it simple. We'll have a conversation. We'll go back and forth, different things. And then finally, yard sale, which I don't think I'm yard selling these. I think SWAN sent them. They didn't say I'm sending them back. SWAN doesn't care. But I think I'd probably use them. I don't know if I'd use them on a plane. I think they're a bit bulk for that, although I have a big, thick neck. But I think for like actual active noise canceling and listening, because even though the Pandas, I don't have Pandas, I think these are probably as close as you're going to get to the sound quality of like a Panda before the Pandas come out, because the Pandas are still fucking delayed forever. So this is as close as you get to that. I think it absolutely competes with like the Sony and the Bose. I think that's all I have to say. I think it's definitely got more soul to it than the fucking Bose, especially the 700. 700's. The Sony is more like a fun... I would say this competes directly with the Sony as far as sound quality and like energy. I'm getting into the sound of the... After the end credits, I'm getting into the sound. It's just how my brain works. You got to accept how my brain works. People don't stick around for the end. They watch 3 minutes at the beginning of the video. They don't go, they don't know what the fuck's going on. I make these reviews for you, but I'm really sitting here all alone in my apartment. There's no one here. I'm making this review for me. I get to put the wallpaper on. I get to explain to myself why I should keep these in a box instead of selling them in a yard sale and getting something else. And they do a lot right. They do a lot right. They do some things weird, but they do everything else pretty much solid. Okay. $10 tier, by the way, gets you into the private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat, where I'm going to pick up my phone. I'm looking for my phone. I'm getting my phone. I'll screenshot my EQ and share that with them, and see what those guys want to do next, because I just had to get a couple of these out of the way. I'm good. I'm good with this. Thank you, SWAN, for sending it out. I hope next one is giant, humongous speakers. Actually, they are sending me a small set of powered speakers, like a $400 set. Look more professional than like the M200s. They're just black and like fascias. So we're good. She's good. I'm good. You're good. We're good. Good night. Check out the sound demo.